Hello, welcome back to the Spider's Web. And we're just going to finish this guy now. Fingers crossed. So, what are we going to do? We're going to start off with the Ungor flesh that we used to put the lighter coat on for his skin. And we're going to mix that on the palette, quite a bit of it, with some of the Screaming Skull. So just to pale it down a touch. I'm not going too mad with it for the time being, because I'm going to be going a bit madder with it for the next stage. So we'll just go over unfortunately the paint is now drying on my palette, so I'm just going to have to hurry up and get this done, which is why I'm probably not talking as much as I normally would. But as I said, I do quite like the underground colour, or the shadow colour for this. I'm going to highlight again a bit more. I'm not bothered about going over the brown that I've already done, for the simple reason that's going to be I'm going over that again. But I will be going over the skin tone once more with a lighter colour, just over the, this is like an extreme highlight over the top parts of the model, or the upper parts of the model. But as you can see, it gives it that more of a natural colour rather than just brown. Yeah, I am quite impressed with that. I can't remember where it was I got the idea from, but I was nosing about online, and it was on a YouTube video I watched or something like that, it could have been. So that's that bit done. Next we're going to be having the, I'm going to use the, not the Dryad Bark, I got the wrong one, it's the Rhinox Hide. I'm going to use first of all, and that is to go over again on the leather parts and the cloth parts that I want to go over. They got accidentally covered by the skin tone. Try not to get any on the skin tone this time. That's the hard part. Oh yeah, the bristles on this brush, they're splaying out a bit too much, and I have to be very careful what I'm doing so I don't get it all over the skin tone as I'm going right to the edge of it. There we are. There we are. Okay, that's done. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do that on a stone, that thing around his neck. I want a different colour brown for the leather. What I'm saying is going to be a leather strap that's holding that stone thing around his neck. But I'm going to first of all change brushes, and I can do more detailed stuff. So I'm going to I'll paint that black. It's around its neck. I didn't want to paint it black first because I was doing because of all the flesh tones I was putting on. I'd have only had to start painting black and then painting it black again and then painting it black again with dry brushing, so I may as well wait until I've near enough finished and then paint it black. Next job is the screaming skull, which I'm going to use for his couple of teeth that I can see in his mouth. That can be put away, and there's a couple of teeth that I can see in his mouth, so let's do them in the screaming skull. There we are. And just a touch in the eye sockets themselves. I'm trying to think who he reminds me of. Next, we're going to be using the Blood of Gruumsh, which I've only recently realised I've got 2 blooming tubs of it. So I'm not quite sure why I've got 2 tubs, but I've got 2 tubs of it, and I'm going to go over it's just a little bit of brown on there. I know it doesn't show up very well, but it doesn't show up on camera very well, but you can actually see it and make it out. And when I put some lighter colours on anyway, it's going to show up even more. Here we go. So I'm going to highlight this bit. I'm going to be going over on this stuff that I've done in brown with Agrex Earthshade. When I finish, just have to be careful not to go over any of the skin. I'm not going to do his boots with this. I'm going to do that in a slightly darker brown colour, as I'm going to do the rest of his, I'm saying loincloth, I don't know exactly what you'd call it, but loincloth is going to be as good a description as any, I suppose. Here's what looks like a furry nappy. Okay, next I'm going to mix some dryad bark with Blood of Gruumsh. And again, this is just to alter the flavour of the brown, make it that touch lighter, just slightly different shade. I'm not looking for anything specific in the line of like some people, when they're doing it or when they're painting, will advise you to do a 50-50 mix of this, and 40-20 mix of something else, or you know, that kind of thing. I'm not interested in that. I'm just looking for a colour that I like the look of, to be honest. And bear in mind, when you do actually paint, these actually dry slightly different. The colour that you mix is not the actual finished colour. When you're painting it, it will be a different colour. But as I said, we're looking towards just a colour I like the look of. So it's not, it won't change that much, to be honest. And I'm just adding some Screaming Skull to it to make it a little more greyer. And we'll do the boots in this one. As I say, I'm going to be going over in Agrax Earthshade all the brown areas of this. So it will look a bit patchy at the moment, what I'm doing, but as I said, that will change once I've put the wash on, because that's going to tie it all together and dull it down slightly. Oh yeah, and I'll just go over the axe handle as well with this one as a bit of a highlight. Can go, we'll do that also, and that as well. And we can add a touch more of the Balor Brown, just yet again to the same mix, and just to change it again slightly. It's not going to be quite as dull a colour, it's going to be a lot more golden as we look at it, but there we are. And there he is. So next job is we take our Ungo flesh that we used surprisingly for his flesh, and put a bit down on the palette, and then we get the Screaming Skull, which we used quite regularly for lightening colours up. And we put a lot of that in to make it much paler. And let's start just adding the highlights now. And the extreme highlights to his skin tone. And we want it going from top to bottom, or from head to toe in this case. It's because that's how the light will hit, that's how the light will spread. You want it going downwards, so it looks as though the light is coming from above. Depending on what kind of lighting you want, if you want it looking as though it's coming from the side, then you would do it from, you would do more from one side than you would from the other. So if you want the light coming from that side, you'll put more emphasis on this side and leave that side a touch darker. But in the way I do it, I like doing it as though the light is coming from directly above. I just find it much easier that way, just quite generic. I can use it in more situations. I think I may need to add just that touch more, or mix up that touch more, using more of the Screaming Skull. Well, I'll see how it looks when it's dried. I'm not sure. I do quite like the way it's looking at the moment, so I may leave it. But what we do need to do is go over his axe with the oh, what's it called? Tin bits. So my head's going at the moment. My head is here, there and everywhere. And I really should have dug this out before I started filming. There we are. Okay, so tin bits. Our usual metal base coat. And then I'll go over this with the obligatory bolt gun metal, but only on this side because it doesn't look as though I can see much of it. I will do a little bit on the back, but there's no need to go overboard with it because it's all in shadow there. So that's that done. I did say I was going to go over the browns with Agrax Earthshade, and that is exactly what I intend to do. Just get that out and give it a going over. So this won't disguise any brush strokes. It will cover in any areas where I've gone a bit too heavy handed and the paint has gone in the crevices where I didn't want it. Close that, bring him over to one side. It's just now a case of the stone necklacey thing he's got. So I'm not going to use shadow grey, I'm just going to go straight into Dawn Stone, then administer some grey, and that will be it. It's just going to be a very basic stone colour that we're using for this. And when this is done, so is the model and so is the series. So I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's been, oh hang on, I've not done the thing yet, so it's not quite finished. have to do the bubblegum metal, which I'll do now as I'm waiting for that dawnstone to dry. So I've got the bubblegum metal. Just a touch on the brush. Now usually when I'm doing bubblegum metal I will go doing the highlights, I will go across it, but don't forget the light is coming from the top, so I want it coming this side. You want more of it on the bottom than you do, more of it on the top than you do on the bottom. As I said, just do a little bit on the back, not all that much, just to show it's there. And there's a couple of bits I've missed, so I'm not quite as finished as I thought I was. But just for novelty, because we haven't used any in this particular series, for that little bit of cloth that is wrapped around the axe handle, I'm going to use some blue. As I say, it's because I've not used any in this series, not because I've got any big liking for the colour. I have to put some of it in everything, but I just thought, just to be different for this particular figure, I've added something a little different in before when I added the green into some of the, when I added the red into some of the figures earlier on, then I added green into others. On this one I'm adding blue. And we're using enchanted blue, which is one of the old paint colours. I'm not exactly sure what the new variation is, but you will see it on the screen now because I've put it up as a subtitle. So you probably won't be able to get hold of Games Workshop Enchanted Green anymore unless somebody's got an auction running on eBay or wherever which has quite a lot of the older paints, which you can sometimes find if you're lucky. But that's that out of the way, and I also need to do the straps that's holding the axe head to the axe handle. And we'll go and use Bella Brown for that as well while it's out. And we'll go there. Now the best way of making it look as though there is, the rope is going under each other, is by just leaving a little gap, as you can see. Oh God, what have I done now? Idiot. Leaving a little gap before, like on this one where it's going under, I'll do the whole thing, but I'll leave a small gap between that colour, or between that level and that one. You can see it gives only a small gap, but it just gives that look of the rope going under and over each other. I'll do that bit, and then I'll just skim over there. So flat at the back, so I'm not really bothered about that. It's just to give it the look as though there is something going on back there. That's all I've done that for. And I just need to give that black a wash, sorry, that blue a highlight. So that black will wash, that'll blue a highlight. I'm going to use this one, which is ice blue. Again, one of the old paint colours, for the name of which we'll just probably be at the bottom of the screen about here very soon. Again, I've done my heavy-handed going in with trying to get the paint on the brush by scooping up as much as I can. There we are. There's that done. I'm going to go over that with a wash of Drakenhof Nightshade. That was it. But before I do that, I have to give that a chance to dry. I'll just go over the stone tablet thingy that's round his neck with Administratum Grey, which you've seen before plenty times. And what I'm doing on this one is just trying to pick out the what little design there is on it. There we are. So that's that done. That's all we need to do for that. The next step, as I say, is just go over the that little bit of blue with the Drakenhof Nightshade, which is this very dark blue colour. It will give that give any little crevice in this that little more shadow, and that, as they say, is that. I won't do too much at the back, but it just needs that little bit done. There we are, and I'm going to even go over the stone tablets as well with the same colour. There we are. There is the ogre. I'm not sure about his face. I think what I'm going to do is just use that little bit more of the Ungor flesh mixed with much more. In fact, I'll use the Screaming Skull with a spot of Ungor flesh, and we'll pick out a few extra details along here. His eyebrow, his nose, under his eye, his cheekbone, his chin, bottom lip, again even more his cheekbone, his eyebrow again. I think I may even come back and do his so I'm going to go over a lot of what I've just done, make it look a lot more brighter. Doesn't want a great deal doing to it, it's just here and there, it just needs picking out a bit. Okay, so that's it for this series. The next painting of the Dungeon Command series will be, well, I've got Sting of Lolth ready, but if anybody would prefer me to do Tyranny of Goblins, then that's fine. I will give that a spray over and we'll do that instead. But it is entirely in your hands as to what we do next. As I said, we have a number of things I could do. I could do a gameplay video, I could do some terrain making, or some form of making video, some scratch build, whatever you want to call it, or we can do another painting session, either painting a piece of artwork or painting more figures. Now if you want figures, you've got the choice between, as I say, Sting of Lolth, Tyranny of Goblins, or the figures from the city expansion for Talisman, which I haven't as yet done, and I've had that game a while. If you want artwork, then please just let me know whether it's a watercolour or an acrylic you'd like to see. If you want to see a gameplay video, I've got my D&D starter sets. I can do the solo adventure from that, or I can do Elder Sign. And if you want terrain, let me know if there's anything in particular you would like me to do, and I'll see what I can do for you. But as I said, the decision is yours. What am I going to do next? So until the next video, take care, God bless, and bye for now.